Good evening. It turned out to be glorious in the sunshine across much of England and Wales. Nearly 18 degrees was reached in a few places, but it didn't start that way. This is how it was in East Yorkshire this morning with the morning fog. It was really rather chilly as well, temperatures below freezing in southern parts. And this is how it turned out in the afternoon. And it's going to be a repeat performance for many of us as we go into Saturday. This high pressure has kept things fine and dry, stays with us in the south. These weather fronts really quite weak in the north. So even here we've had some sunshine through the day, but you can see that the cloud is piling up further west. So we will see further weak weather fronts pushing in as well this weekend. As for what remains of this evening and overnight, we will keep the clear skies in the south. So we've got the recipe for some fog and some frost again. A little bit of frost possibly in the east of Scotland, some early fog. And underneath our weak weather front, and it is rather weak, we could see some patchy fog as well. But I think notably chilly again in the south, temperatures below freezing in rural areas. And then tomorrow morning as we wake up, these sort of scenes quite likely, not just Saturday, but Sunday morning. Some quite thick patches of fog could be around for your journeys if you're heading out early. And at this time of year, it doesn't clear early either. It could be till lunchtime before we see that fog finally lift, clear and break away. But with light winds and the sunshine, the best of which initially will be around the coast and then joining in inland, lovely day. Breeze picks up a bit more for Scotland, and actually later in the night anyway, we've got this weather front piling in. So it's a cloudy, breezy, drizzly sort of day. But east of the Grampians, the eastern side of Northern Ireland, not that much rain at all. Hopefully some brightness and some warmth, still 16, 17 degrees, because we've got that high pressure starting to weaken those weather fronts. But we might squeeze just a bit more rain out of those weather fronts on Sunday. They look a little bit more active. So some fairly brisk winds starting to push them southwards away from Scotland and Northern Ireland. We see some showers following on behind. But instead, it looks as if that weather front will sink its way southwards across England and Wales. Not much rain left on it. It'll help to clear the fog ahead of it. And the far south and east potentially staying mostly fine and quite sunny still, and that'll be a non-entity almost, that weather front, as we get into Monday, and a strong high pressure builds in for the beginning of next week. Again, it just keeps those weather fronts at bay to the north. So for many of us, the fine weather continues into next week, foggy and frosty by night, not especially warm as we introduce some colder northwesterly winds.